mysteries, thrillers and horror. G'day my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you another bookshelf tour, but this time of all my mysteries and thrillers and horror. I've already done bookshelf tours of my fantasy and science fiction, as well as all my Stephen King books, and I'll list those videos in my description box below. But as Stephen King is a horror writer, I'm including his books in this video, especially as I have changed out some editions and added a few more. If, however, you have already seen my Stephen King collection and don't want to re-watch it, there will be timestamps in my description box below, which will allow you to skip that section. Most of the books in this collection are older, though there are also a few new ones. As there are a few books in my collection, get yourself a drink or a snack, sit back and enjoy. I'll start first with my TBR shelves. I'll give you a pan and then show you the individual books. David Baldacci, Memory Man. Ian Rankin, Knots and Crosses. Michael Connolly, Nine Dragons. I have a couple of Ruth Ware books, The It Girl and 0 Days. James Oswald, The Hangman's Song. Twilight by Peter James. The Tilt by Chris Hammer, an Australian author. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. And The Housemaid by McFadden. Clive Barker, The Great and Secret Show. Harlan Coben, Win. And The Boy from the Woods. I have a few Riley Sager, The Only One Left. Lucy Campbell, Lowbridge. P.D. James, The Private Patient. Peter May, The Chessmen. Perfume by Patrick Suskind. I've had this for many years. Jeffrey Deaver, The Never Game. Kathy Reichs, A Conspiracy of Bones. Benjamin Stevenson, Either Side of Midnight. He is also an Australian author. The Bluffs by Kyle Perry. The Nowhere Child by Christian White. Strange Weather by Joe Hill. This is 4 novellas. Robbery Under Arms by Rolf Boulderwood, an Australian classic. This is another place I keep my TBR books, on top of my TV cabinet. Carola Dunn, Rattle His Bones, a Daisy Dalrymple mystery. I read the first one, did not like it. Harlan Coben, The Innocent. Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rick. These are my paperback shelves. I'll give you an overview of the shelves and then I'll show you the individual books. The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. Very worn out, as you can see. Helter Skelter, The Manson Murders by Vincent Bugliosi. This is a true crime book. James M. Cain. I love his books. This has The Postman Always Rings Twice, The Butterfly, Serenade, Mildred Pierce, and Double Indemnity. At least 3 of these books have been made into fantastic memoir films. Sophie Hannah, with the permission of Agatha Christie's estate, is now writing more Hercule Poirot books. This is the first, The Monogram Murders. Closed Casket. The Mystery of Three Quarters, The Killings at Kingfisher Hill, the most recent, Silent Night. This is the beginning of my Agatha Christie collection. The Body in the Library is a Miss Marple mystery. I don't like this edition, so I might be looking for different ones. A few standalone books by Christie, and then there were none. Crooked House, Why Didn't They Ask Evans? Part of the Superintendent Battle series, The Secret of Chimneys, The Seven Dials Mystery. This is the beginning of my Poirot collection. The first book is The Mysterious Affair at Styles, The Murder on the Links, Poirot Investigates, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, one of my favourites, The Mystery of the Blue Train, Peril at End House, Lord Edgware Dies, love these covers, Murder on the Orient Express, Three-Act Tragedy, Death in the Clouds, The ABC Murders, Murder in Mesopotamia, Cards on the Table, Murder in the Muse, which is short stories, Dumb Witness, Death on the Nile, Appointment with Death, Hercule Poirot's Christmas, Sad Cypress, 1-2 Buckle My Shoe, Evil Under the Sun, 5 Little Pigs, The Hollow, The Labours of Hercules, Taken at the Flood, Mrs. McGinty's Dead, After the Funeral, Hickory Dickory Dock, Dead Man's Folly, Cat Among the Pigeons, The Clocks, Third Girl, Halloween Party, Elephants Can Remember, Poirot's Early Cases, and Curtain, Poirot's Last Case. These are my hardcovers of Agatha Christie's books, and then there were none. One of my favourites. These are absolutely gorgeous. $4.50 from Paddington, a Miss Marple book. The ABC Murders, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, Death on the Nile, Murder on the Orient Express. This is a gift from my friend Jacqueline, all the way from the States. Agatha Christie, an autobiography. Patricia Cornwell, this is her Case Garbetta series. The first book is Postmortem. Body of Evidence, and All That Remains. Audrey Rose by Frank D. Felitta. This was a very big film at the time, and it's very similar to The Exorcist. Philip Friedman writes legal thrillers. I love legal thrillers, good ones. This is Wall of Silence, No Higher Law, and Reasonable Doubt. This is my second paperback bookshelf. Kerry Greenwood's Phryne Fisher series. The first book is Miss Phryne Fisher Investigates, also known as Cocaine Blues. Book 2, Flying Too High. Murder on the Ballarat Train. Death at Victoria Dock. The Green Mill Murder. I love these covers, they're gorgeous. Blood and Circuses. Ruddy Gore. Urn Burial. I am missing a few. The Castlemaine Murders. Queen of the Flowers. Murder on a Midsummer's Night. Dead Man's Chest. Unnatural Habits. Murder and Mendelssohn. Death in Dalesford. This is my Jane Harper collection, another Australian author, The Dry, her first book. Force of Nature. The Survivors. The Lost Man. And her most recent, Exiles. Tales of Terror from Outer Space. I guess this is also sci-fi. Joe Hill, Nosferatu. I really like Joe Hill. This is a collection of horror stories. Anthony Horowitz, Magpie Murders. Damien, Omen 2 by Joseph Howard. I don't have the first book. Susan Isaacs writes kind of romances as well as mysteries. She has a very biting wit. This is Long Time No See. After All These Years. Magic Hour. Linda LaPlante, The Legacy. Bella Mafia, also by LaPlante. Stephen Martini is a legal writer. This is The Simeon Chamber. Compelling Evidence. Graham Masterton, The Sphinx. Richard North Patterson is one of my favourite legal writers. This is Degree of Guilt. Escape the Night. Eyes of a Child. The Final Judgment. The Lascaux Tangent. The Outside Man. No Safe Place. And Private Screening. Louise Penny, Still Life, her first Inspector Gamache book. I cannot find them in hardcover. Gross Misconduct by Lance Peters. My third paperback shelf. Nancy Taylor Rosenberg, Interest of Justice. You'll see I have a lot of legal thrillers. Sydney Sheldon, The Other Side of Midnight. This is the sequel, Memories of Midnight. If Tomorrow Comes. Master of the Game. Many of his books were made into mini-series back in the 80s. Windmill of the Gods. Alexander McCall Smith, The #1 Ladies Detective Agency. The Sunday Philosophy Club. I got these in a box set. Friends, Lovers, Chocolate. 44 Scotland Street. Espresso Tales. Martin Cruz Smith, Gorky Park. This was really good. Scott Churro, The Laws of Our Fathers. Where Was Everyone When Sabrina Screamed by Amelia Walden. James Bond, The Spy Who Loved Me. This was written by Christopher Wood. Murder My Dear by Dorothy Woolfolk. This is my King paperback collection. Carrie. Cujo. Colorado Kid, which is a hard case crime book. Cycle of the Werewolf, which is a new edition. Dark Visions, which is I think a collection of stories by King, Martin and Simmons. The Dead Zone, Different Seasons, which is short stories, Firestarter, The Green Mile, It, very battered. Later, another hard case crime book. Night Shift, which is short stories. The Shining, love this cover. Skeleton Crew, also short stories. The Stand, the original. And Thinner. This is my Stephen King hardcover collection. 11/22/63. The Bachman Books, which has Rage, The Long Walk, Roadwork and The Running Man. Bag of Bones. Bazaar of Bad Dreams. Billy Summers. Blaze. Carrie, 50th anniversary edition. It's gorgeous. Cell. Christine, a new edition. Cujo. The Dark Half. The Regulators and Desperation. I replaced these with these two because they have a continuous picture on the covers. Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining. Dolores Claiborne, highly underrated. Dreamcatcher. Dew Marquis. Elevation. Everything's Eventual. Fairy Tale, one of the few I haven't read. Firestarter. From a Buick 8, a new edition. I love this. 4 Past Midnight. Full Dark, No Stars. Gerald's Game. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. The Green Mile, another new acquisition. Wendy's Button Box, which he wrote with Richard Chisma. Wendy's Magic Feather, the sequel. And the third, Wendy's Final Task. Hearts in Atlantis. Holly. If It Bleeds. Insomnia. The Institute. It. I love this edition so much. Joyland, another hard case crime book. Just After Sunset, short stories. Lacey's Story. Misery. This is the Bill Hodges series. The first book is Mr. Mercedes. Finders Keepers is book 2. The third is End of Watch. Needful Things, one of my favourites. Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Night Shift, I love this cover. The Outsider. Pet Cemetery. Revival. Rose Madder. Sleeping Beauties, which he wrote with his son Owen King. Salem's Lot, this is a new acquisition. And The Shining. Another copy of Salem's Lot and The Shining. Skeleton Crew, another great cover. The Stand. Thinner. The Tommyknockers. Under the Dome. You Like It Darker, his most recent book. These are the rest of my hardcovers. Raymond Chandler, The Big Sleep. Mary Higgins Clark, I'll Be Seeing You. Pritzi's Honor by Richard Condon. William J. Coughlin, Death Penalty. Dexter Diaz, who's an English barrister, Error of Judgment. False Witness, also by Diaz. Philip Friedman, Inadmissible Evidence. Thomas Harris created the character of Hannibal Lecter. This is the first book in which Lecter appears, Red Dragon. The sequel, The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal and Hannibal Rising. His first book is Black Sunday, and his most recent is Carrie Mora. This is The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett. Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill. The Tea Ladies by Amanda Hampson. I didn't like this. Susan Isaacs, Lily White. Alan Jacobson, False Accusations. Andrew Clavin, The Animal Hour. And Hunting Down Amanda, also by Clavin. I have a few Dinar Koontz, Night Chills. Dark Rivers of the Heart. Mr. Murder. John le Carre, The Little Drummer Girl. Also by le Carre, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, a special edition. The Ludi Victor by James Lee. John D. MacDonald, The Best of Travis McGee. Christine Maguire, Until Justice is Done. Steve Martini is also a favourite legal writer, The Attorney. Critical Mass. The List. Prime Witness. Undue Influence. Graham Masterton, Flesh and Blood. I had to buy another circular bookshelf just to fit all my hardcovers that weren't fantasy or sci-fi. This is my Louise Penny Inspector Gamache series. I'm missing the first two in hardcover. This is book 3, The Cruelest Month. Book 4, A Rule Against Murder. The Brutal Telling. Bury Your Dead. A Trick of the Light. The Beautiful Mystery. How the Light Gets In. The Long Way Home. The Nature of the Beast. The Great Reckoning. Glass Houses. Kingdom of the Blind. A Better Man. All the Devils Are Here. The Madness of Crowds. And her latest, A World of Curiosities. This is my Janet Ivanovich collection. I'm missing a few books, but my friend Jacqueline has got them for me and is sending them. This is One for the Money. Book 3, Three to Get Deadly. 4 to Score. High Five. Hot 6. 7 Up. Hard 8. To the Nines. 10 Big Ones. 11 on Top. 12 Sharp. Lean Mean 13. Fearless 14. Finger Licking 15. Sizzling 16. Smokin' 17. Explosive 18. Notorious 19. Takedown 20. Top Secret 21. Tricky 22. Turbo 23, Hardcore 24, Look Alive 25, Twisted 26, Fortune and Glory Tantalizing 27, Game On Tempting 28, Going Rogue Rise and Shine 29. Between the Plums was a gift from my friend Jacqueline and is the short stories. Richard Osman's Thursday Murder Club. I love these books. This is the first. Man Who Died Twice is book 2. The Bullet That Missed. And The Last Devil to Die. Looking for Rachel Wallace by Robert B. Parker. Richard North Patterson is one of my favourite legal writers. This is Balance of Power. Conviction. Dark Lady. I actually have 2 copies of this. This is the trade paperback. The Devil's Light. Eden in Winter. Fall from Grace. Protect and Defend. The Race. Silent Witness. And The Spire. Benjamin Stevenson, an Australian author. Everyone on this train is a suspect. Now, Scott Turow is my favourite legal writer, and I have all of his books, I think, identical. Innocent. The Last Trial. Ordinary Heroes. Personal Injuries. Pleading Guilty, which I've had for donkey's years. And this is a collection of 2, Presumed Innocent and The Burden of Proof. Reversible Errors. And Testimony. Catriona Ward, The Last House on Needless Street. Galatine Warfield, Silent Witness. Christian White, The Wife and the Widow. These are additional books that I bought after recording this video. Agatha Christie, Murder is Easy. The Big Four. Val McDermid, The Mermaid Singing and The Wire in the Blood. Dark Matter by Michelle Paver. Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Basterica. This was a gift from my friend Gabby. Song of Kali by Dan Simmons. Ronald Malfi, Black Mouth. Nick Cutter, The Troop. Miss Aldridge Regrets by Louise Hare. I found 2 books by Catherine Kovacic at Bookgrocer. The first is The Portrait of Molly Dean and Painting in the Shadows. The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. And Steve Martini, The Arraignment. Well, that is all the books currently in my collection. As you all know, I do tend to buy a lot of books, and I am looking to read more horror in particular. So I anticipate that there will be more books in my collection in the future. Now, of course, I would love to know what you think of my collection, and you can let me know down in the comments. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the books in my collection, and if you did, then you know what to do. You can like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, as it helps my channel to grow. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!